Hello everyone, Curtis White here from the Cannondale CyclocrossWorld.com team, and welcome to the Zilvermeer Cross in Mol. Today's conditions are dry and cold with the temperature just around freezing, and we'll see that the defining feature of this course is the sand. And in the men's race we actually got some snow as well. That didn't affect the course really, it just looked awesome. And today I chose to run challenge dune file treads at 18-19 psi, around 1.3 bar. And you'll see that after the finish, with the start being just on your left, that the first couple minutes of this course is really fast, flat, and flowing in and out of the trees. The racing here over the years is burned in a nice single track path, and in the start you're absolutely flying through this section through the woods. And keep an eye out for a few roots and curbs that are being exposed that could cause potential danger for flats, but we'll see later on in the lap just how heavy the sand is. So as the race settled down, we use this opportunity in the woods to compose ourselves and regroup before surging into the sand sections again later on. And contradictory to what you may think, not all sand courses require a big diesel effort. It takes experience to know when to surge, how to carry your momentum, and where to rest. So we're about a minute into the course here, and you'll see just how flowing a lot of these corners are. The course is wide enough where there's some potential to pass or move up, but the section of the course is so fast that it's really lined out and it's really difficult to make that pass unless the group is resting collectively. Here we have a couple curbs to hop over. And just be careful, the tire pressure is a bit lower this race than normal races because of the sand. You want to really have that lower tire pressure to have that big traction patch and float over the sand. So that's the balance of cyclocross. You have a tire pressure that's really good for the sand, but not really great for going over roots and curbs. So just be gentle and attentive there. So as we dismount for that staircase, remount at the top and drop into that rut hooking to the left there, you'll see if you go back, there was a nice line going all the way to the outside of the staircase, up the left. A couple riders were able to ride all the way to the left and hop the last couple stairs. It wasn't much faster than running it. I think running was a little bit more consistent and the stakes were a little bit lower, but it was a nice little advantage to have. Here you'll see a lot of trees in the middle of the course, a staple of Belgian cyclocross. You'll see I'm testing the line to the left of a couple of these trees, setting up a little wider for that last turn. A little bit of rest coming into this next turn through this gate, a little tight. Nice rut there, banging to the left. Again, watch out for that root under that sand. That became a little bit more exposed through the race, and that's one of those roots that continues to be exposed over the years. But we're entering a part of the course where it's important to have that faster file tread tire with less rolling resistance than a heavier tire like a Grifo or a Limus. And especially in the sand, you'll see that you want a smoother tire to really float over the sand as much as you can. But we're about 100 meters from the sand right now. You'll see some of these turns are a little tighter. This is a really fast part of the course. It's really lined out, so the positioning coming into the sand is really key. Watch out, there's a curb on the inside of that corner there. Best to go a little bit wider. But coming into the sand section with a lot of speed, this is a downhill run into the water. Try to carry momentum, find a good rut, be in a good gear. Passing by pit 1, hooking to the right. And the water just to our left really makes the sand a little bit firmer here, so it's a hard pack pedaling section, holding onto the group. If you chose a bad rut coming down that hill by pit 1, try to get back onto the group and carry momentum, but don't overextend through this section because in 50 meters or so we're going to hook back up to the right and we're going to be back on dry sand, and it's important to carry your momentum well, find a good rut, and keep your composure. So this is a slight uphill section. The momentum really dies down. Here we'll see Corne Van Kessel looking at what rut is looking good there. A couple ruts started to form in the race. There was a nice, really 3 ruts that formed. There was one all the way to the left, one all the way on the inside to the right, and then one in the middle. Just having a couple of options, especially in traffic, is a good thing. Now we're coming into this playground type of section, a flatter sand section part of the course, but it's just about maintaining momentum, and we're starting to approach. There's a little elevation through here, but it's all about composure and finesse through this section. Here, little riser. There are a couple of lines that started to form, but in the race, the most consistent option here was to run this section. We have a little bit of a hill. Try to ride up this, but it took a bit of an effort in just kind of carrying that momentum, and over the course of the race, having those explosive efforts really tax the effort. So coming back down, hooking the rut all the way back up to the left. And this is a more iconic part of the course that you'll see with the camera angles. But we're coming up to the top of this course, dropping down, much steeper than it looks here. Slight drop off. Get into a heavy gear, carry momentum the best that you can. and try to ride as much up this hill as you can. Sometimes, some years, the ride is a little bit more defined and you're able to ride all the way up. Some of the bigger powerhouse riders like Wout van Aert, Mathieu van der Poel are able to do that sometimes. As we remount over the top, this is a very tricky part of the course that if you're not fully composed, it's very easy to get bogged down and in a wrong rut or not get clipped into the pedals and lose your composure. And that's the most important part of this course, and really the overall theme of this course is keeping your composure, operating at that 95% level. Don't go into the red, don't overextend, but know where to recover. So through this section, you'll see a couple more trees in the middle of the course. The course is wide open. You have plenty of options of places to go or pass or get around riders. But this is one of those parts where the group collectively decides it's time to recover or reshuffle through here. We're approaching another key sand section, really the last critical feature of the course. So positioning does matter, especially if you're coming into the finish. You're gonna hop this little curb here, bang into the right. You'll see there is a key defined entrance to this, but then the ruts go everywhere. So again, it's all about carrying momentum the best you can. This is a slight downhill run back towards the water. Nice rut hooking to the left. And again, you're on firmer sand here, so you're able to kind of regroup a little bit, recompose yourself, and gain your momentum again for the next sand section going back up the hill. Coming by pit 2 here. I've said it 100 times in this video already, but use that rut on the inside to carry your momentum as far as you can up this climb. It's much more difficult than it looks, and most of the riders are actually running this section maybe halfway up. But if you go back and watch the race, it was a really impressive display of power and skill to see riders like Wout van Aert and Laurens Swick being able to ride this entire section and easily taking 10, 15, maybe 20 seconds from riders behind them through this entire section. But for normal riders, we were remounting over that pavement slab, making sure we were in a very good gear because we were coming in with much more speed. Make sure you get into an easier gear, remount, able to spin that gear. We're really 150 meters from the finish here. Off that pavement, bending to the left. We'll see if you're coming into this with a sprint, there are a couple different options going to the left, to the right of some of these trees. But that's the course. It's important to nail the sand and identify where to recover and how to carry your momentum well. But really an iconic track here in Mole. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more videos through the course of the cyclocross season and share with your friends. And you can visit curtisjwhite.com/inthered for more content. Take care, stay healthy, keep riding, and we'll catch you next week at the World Cup in Overijse.